Welcome judges and all of other stakeholders. This is the final presentation from Team 1 of the Super Analytics Challenge. We are looking forward to your feedback.
Hello everyone, this is Synergy and Ed. This is our Super Analytics Challenge Phase 3 presentation. And our topic today is about reducing the system capacity constraint by breaking the circle of homelessness in young adults. Let's jump into it. So there are words said by Johnny that the earlier you end up in the system, the worse your outcome will be, and the longer you will be in the system. So our expectation for this program is to postpone the time to enter the system and even prevent use to get into the system. Here is our presentation outlines. The first one is who we are, and I know we have already introduced ourselves for several times. And the next one is high impact questions, purpose of our solution, county capacity issues, an example of how and where to get started on the intervention. And the final one, the roadmap to success. My name is Chen, and the rest are my teammates, Matt, the team leader, Yifeng, Gianna, and Avinash.
The high impact question for Synergy and Nat is how can we improve the housing outcomes for Allegheny County residents, specifically by reducing unmet demand for homelessness services, using predictions of which adolescents are likely to experience homelessness as young adults, and prescriptions for which interventions will break the cycle of homelessness for those individuals. The purpose of this project and the Super Analytics Challenge, and really the county department in general, is to make homelessness rare, brief, and non-recurring. What this means for our team is that our primary outcome is reducing the number of people who need services for homelessness. One way to do this is to lessen the amount of time that they need services, but our team has taken a different approach. We're focusing on breaking the cycle for adolescents, those in the 13 to 17-year-old range, that without intervention will experience homelessness as young adults. This is how we can improve our primary outcome of reducing the number of people who need those services. We know that the county has a large unmet demand for an actually already rare event. Homelessness is obviously a very serious problem, but with approximately 1.2 million people in Allegheny County and about 10,000 clients receiving homelessness services per year, the incidence per person is less than 1%. With complete HUD homelessness being perhaps 10 times less than that, which can certainly be considered then a rare event. However, the unmet need could be approximately 10 times both of those. For example, there are about 2,000 clients with unmet HUD homelessness at times throughout the year, and county surveys have suggested that over 10% of Pittsburgh area high school students have housing instability. How do we go about meeting demand with our resources? How do we solve for an ultra over-demanded system? Putting my MBA hat on, we can think about this system like a manufacturing system, maybe a car company. Let's imagine we are Yinsmobiles, a car manufacturing company on Baum Boulevard, like used to be done here in Pittsburgh. If we have demand for 10,000 cars, but we can only make 1,000 in our Baum Boulevard facility, how do we meet demand? The first obvious thing to do is to build another facility, say on Banksville Road. So now we're making 2,000 cars, 1,000 on Baum Boulevard, 1,000 on Banksville. Maybe we then partner with the Six Sigma course here at Katz, shout out to Professor K, and we improve our efficiency by, let's say, 2 times, and now we can make 4,000 cars, 2,000 in each facility. We've increased our service by 4-fold, from 1,000 to 4,000. However, we still have a very large unmet demand. In fact, we've only reduced our unmet demand from 9,000 to 6,000. So even though we've 4 times, by increasing our resources and efficiency, we've only reduced unmet demand by 1/3. The total system outcomes then are only slightly improved. Now, don't get me wrong, for homelessness, that's really impactful. But despite our Herculean efforts in resource and efficiency increases, we can only get so far. And that's the situation we have here. So how can we reduce demand? For our car company, we simply increase the price. That obviously reduces demand, but we certainly don't want to do that here. We actually want to make it easier for people to receive services. So what's another thing that companies do? They introduce substitutes. They make a cheaper car that they can make, say, 10 or 5,000 of easily. This substitute will keep people from needing the high-end service. We can take that lesson here to this scenario. How can we reduce the cost of our services enough to create an effective substitute? Gianna is going to talk about RISE PA and about how foster care outcomes are being improved in Western PA. These are a couple of ways that will demonstrate how we can introduce substitutes. Due to a Zoom recording error, Gianna's audio can't be used, but please know that Gianna is the mastermind behind our example interventions, and I'll be recording for her. OnEartha is the leading search and referral platform in the US and was selected to build the Resource Information and Services Enterprise, or RISE PA, an upcoming statewide resource and referral tool in partnership with the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. OnEartha will create an interactive platform online that will serve as a care coordination system for providers, including healthcare and social services organizations, as well as a closed-loop referral system that will report on the outcomes of the referrals. It will also provide Pennsylvanians with a new portal to gather information and engage with the service providers that they need at any given point. It is a center-edge approach to streamline the process of matching clients to their needed services and will reduce the cost of enrollment in both the services and the delivery of the services. This type of integrated care is a prevention that works as a substitute for an emergency shelter or long-term housing. We want to further illustrate this point with foster care and an organization based in Western PA, Adelphoi, that provides treatment and services for at-risk youth and their families. Regarding foster care, this is something that's currently not tracked by the County Homelessness Services Department specifically, since youth in foster care technically had housing, and if an unaccompanied youth is found without housing, they're immediately referred to foster care and don't receive, technically, homelessness services within the county. With 23,000 foster care aging out of the US, the foster care system doesn't exactly have the pristine outcomes that we'd like, with 1 in 5 experiencing homelessness right away at the age of 18. This is a specific population that can receive integrated care and demonstrate the impact. Meanwhile, Adelphoi, which again is based here in Western PA, has shown that almost 80% of participants in their programs remain out of care completely for at least the first year after aging out. When using their MST program, multi-systemic therapy, the dollar savings can be huge as future needs can be prevented. While students themselves are more likely to be promoted to the next grade level and earn their high school degree. In the end, 9 in 10 were living at home or in school or working, which is the type of prevention that is needed. As RISE PA is implemented, we can expect to replicate these in Allegheny County across our services.
Thank you. Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Avinash. Now I will Thank you. Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Avinash. Now I will explain how to identify where to intervene. Here on the left side, you can see the graph. On the x-axis, we have how many persons in the age group of 18 to 24 went to jail. And on the y-axis, we have how many persons in the age group of 18 to 24 availed mental health outpatient services in the last 5 years. The orange cluster that you see here, those are the people who are currently experiencing homelessness. As per our high impact question, we have considered people in the age group of 18 to 24 because our endeavor was to look at the possible features or the key features why the age group of 18 to 24 were experiencing homelessness. With regards to the data set that was given to us, we found that the data wasn't a balanced one. Our suggestion here is that a balanced data set will significantly improve the prediction accuracy of the clustering model. We have built 2 machine learning models based on the data which was given to us. One is logistic regression model and the second model is k-means clustering. The accuracy of the model is not what we have expected it to be because as I mentioned earlier, we didn't have a balanced data set. Actually, I can provide a related quick example here. So suppose we are trying to predict whether a tumor is malignant or benign. It is essential that not only do we have the data of people who were diagnosed with a malignant tumor and the data of people with a benign tumor, but also the proportion of data should be approximately equal. That way, the model can predict or classify the seriousness of the tumor with a higher accuracy. We would also be able to achieve a good sensitivity, that is the true positives, and better specificity, that is a true negative. But here we had the entire dataset consisting of people who have at least experienced homelessness in the last 5 years. Therefore, our suggestion is that we could actually have the rows of clients who haven't experienced homelessness or received the services We can also have actual or dummy variables for the remaining Allegheny County residents. We would like to propose another suggestion that we could also expand the time series data to greater time periods so that we could track the young adults back to their adolescent period. Two main key features were identified out of all the variables: the people who went to jail and people who have availed the mental health outpatient services.
Along with the data that Avinash outlined that the department already has and can recombine with our model, there are other adjacent data sources that we think the county can quickly plug into. The first is school district data. Truancy and transportation specifically are two that we think will be the best. The second is healthcare data, specifically insurance and ER visits from our major hospital systems as proxy for health services for our young adults. The third is tax data. The last is housing data. The county has already mortgage and eviction data. If we can combine these here, this will be another great way to provide lift for our model. All of this then comes together for what we call near misses. Coming back to our auto manufacturer here in Pittsburgh, there may be on occasion workplace safety issues, maybe a fatality or a major injury. Our auto manufacturer might try to predict which injuries will occur where. Interestingly though, fatalities are not a very strong metric for this. Even minor injuries tend to be misleading. Much better metrics for occupational safety are what we now call near misses. Rather than predicting when a rebar will fall on someone's head and they'll have a major injury, or where someone might trip over a hazard and have a minor injury, we can predict when and where these will be based on whether there's an unsafe environment, a mistied rebar at risk of dropping, something on the ground that someone might trip over. Those near misses are much better metrics to track and to use in advanced analytics to see where future incidents will occur and what interventions specifically can be done to improve unsafe environments. Just because the CEO is unlikely to be under a rebar, they still wear a hard hat when they go on site. Tracking severe incidents is helpful, but tracking near misses will be transformative, as it has been for occupational safety in hazardous industries. Lastly, we wanted to take you through how to actually do this. It's a relatively simple, it won't be easy, but it's a relatively simple roadmap to success for how we can make homelessness rare, brief, and non-recurring in Allegheny County. In the short term, we need to recombine our model data with the county databases that already exist to create the unbiased data set that we talked about. We also need to start creating the partnerships with the adjacent data sources, school districts, healthcare, tax, housing, that we discussed. In the short term, we also need to begin piloting programs in coordination with the County Youth Homelessness Demonstration Program. The YHDP is something that the county is already looking into to improve homelessness outcomes for youth, and we need to be able to combine this then with our data insights. In the medium term, our data needs to be fully integrated with the partnerships that are created and refresh our clustering models. By the end of this year, we'd hope that the county can begin scaling YHDP programs based on these clusters. And in the long term, the county simply needs to expand and continuously feed new data, perhaps from more plugin or just data over time, to refresh those clusters, scale the programs, and create a bigger impact. Taking our auto manufacturer again, we mentioned that they introduced substitutes like a cheaper car that they can make more of. But what actually is a much better analogy would be that the car company would understand why someone needs a car at all and solve that need instead. For example, I may need a car to commute to work. Someone else may need a car just to pick up large items from their work site. So if a car company can get me a job that lets me work from home, can get them a truck that they can use only at work, maybe they just need a scooter at home. The analogy here is that making that investment in the scooter and work from home job or the truck at work sites will provide the person integrated care, greatly reducing their need on our high-end resources. This can be scaled. We believe that a 5-year investment such as that in an adolescent, targeted, specific times when and where they need it, will dramatically improve the county outcomes. That is to say, it will reduce demand. We believe that our innovative, original, and creative solution is the most impactful and truly the only way to solve this problem, specifically in an over-demanded system like this where Allegheny County already has nation-leading resources and efficiency. There is little lift left there, but significant opportunity using our solutions. Our models, insights, and solutions can be acted on this year, and we'll begin helping people now, with an eye to making homelessness rare, briefer, and non-recurring on an ongoing basis for Allegheny County residents. Thank you for watching SynergyNet.
Thank you for watching the final presentations for Team 1. We look forward to feedback from the judges and all of our stakeholders. We hope that our solutions can help end homelessness in our region.